What's up, y'all, man? I want to talk about this beating that the Brooklyn Nets put on Golden State. First of all, the Golden State Warriors, they're going to struggle this year. They have a lot of young players. They have a lot of inexperienced players, players that have not made the playoffs. No playoff experience, and they got some good parts. With the kid Wiseman, he's going to be good, really good for them. What they need out of him is rebounding, block shots. Be a presence in the middle, and come out playing hard with a lot of energy. Eventually, he's going to have to, expand his game. Hit some 15-foot jump shots, 12-foot jump shots, and later down the line, go out, start shooting threes. Even though he shot a couple threes tonight, he needs to stay down low because they're gonna need a presence down there, and he can be that presence. Even with the inexperience he has right now, his athleticism should allow him to rebound on a high level. His goals every night should at least get 10 to 15 rebounds a night. Alter some shots, block some shots. Filling the lane, catching lobs, working on his post moves, jump hook, what I'm saying, over each shoulder, things of that nature to try to, keep himself versatile down there. But I like the Pascal kid from Villanova, tough, gritty, get him in the game more. I know Draymond Green did not play. When Draymond Green play, it will open up the offense more because Draymond Green is kind of like a point forward, so he will be able to get some of the young people involved, settle down Kelly Oubre, get easy shots for Kelly Oubre and Wiggins. Those two are going to be the key for Golden State. Wiggins and Kelly Oubre. When Draymond Green come back, those two guys need to concentrate on slashing to the hole, filling the lanes, slashing to the hole. They both can get their own shot, which is good for Golden State. Should if Golden is Golden State gonna make the playoffs? They they should make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I think Golden State should at least be a 6, 7, or 8 seed. I believe they got a chance, but Steph Curry will have to play at a MVP level for them to be in the top four. You have to play at an MVP level. I like their team. I like some of the parts. Like I said, I like some of the parts Golden State has. But if Klay Thompson was playing this year, and they got Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Curry with the parts that they have, then I say they probably can do a little something. You know what I'm saying? They will have enough presence out on the floor, firepower wise, with Draymond and Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson can space him and Steph Curry space the court so well. They will have, and then that's when Kelly Oubre and Wiggins will be able to fill a lane. So yes, they should make the playoffs. Barring any injury to Curry, they should make the playoffs. On the other end, the Nets. If I was the Nets, I would not make that James Harden trade because the Rockets are going to at least ask for LeVert, Dinwiddie, and Jared Allen. Probably gonna ask for those three players. In my opinion, I know some people probably will disagree. I think those three players trump James Harden if you want to go out there and try to win a title. What people don't fail to realize is this. Yes, it's good to have as many superstars as possible, but you need those others. You know what I'm saying? You need that bench. You need a nice strong bench because you need other guys to step up when your superstars or stars are not having their A game. You know what I'm saying? And the Nets, to me, have everything they need and more because they have Jared Allen. They have DeAndre Jordan down low. So those two guys, you have the young big man, the veteran big man. You can play I think Jared Allen comes off the bench anyway. So you got Jared Allen coming off the bench. You got DeAndre Jordan starting. DeAndre Jordan doesn't have to wear himself out throughout the season because he has a young, stud right there that does the same thing. Those two guys do the same thing. Those two guys rebound at a high level. They block shots. They change shots. What I mean by changing shots is when guys come down because they have a threat of blocking your shot, you kind of hesitant on, your layups, your floaters. Your layups short, your floaters get shorter, you short arm and everything. That's the presence of a good shot blocker. Kind of like Rudy Gobert. We know Rudy Gobert is a high level defender. But those two, you got those two guys, so you deep right there with those two guys. That's all you need as center nowadays in this NBA because you can go small ball. And you got Kevin Durant, of course, and you got Kyrie. Those are you got a superstar and you got a star. Superstar Kevin Durant, star Kyrie Irving. And then you got Dinwiddie, you got LeVert, you got Joe Harris, and then you got that kid Lamine Shaman, who those two guys right there are high-level three-point shooters. Those two guys right there are high-level three-point shooters. So you got those two guys down. You got those two guys spacing the floor. And then you got Caris LeVert. Now LeVert is LeVert. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna come down. He's gonna shoot a lot of shots. He's not going to do a whole lot of playmaking. That's just not what he does. I would like to see him do more playmaking with that second unit. Yes, they need his scoring on that second unit, but I would like to see him do some playmaking. He tends to come down and dribble the air out the ball. I can't stand that. Listen, I had enough of seeing that with James Harden. I can't stand. I was not taught how to play basketball like that. Come down, dribble the air. What LeVert needs to do is this. He needs to concentrate on. Now, we know he's going to take a lot of shots with that second unit. He needs to let other guys touch the ball on that second unit because you have to have a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep the team in a rhythm. You don't want the team to be stale when LeVert come in off the bench. LeVert going to shoot 15 shots, 20 shots, and he's going to dribble the shot clock down. And no one is going to stay in rhythm. So you want to – he has Lamine Shaman on that second unit. He has that Prince guy on that second unit. He has some talent on that second unit. Jared Allen is on that second unit. So I would like to see him have a rapport, especially with Jared Allen down low. Throw him some lobs. We know you can get to the basket. Use your threat of getting to the basket and get the big man some easy lob dunks on the post or some drop-offs. I would like to see LeVert, do that more and take his game to the next level because sometimes he can get tunnel vision to where he's thinking about his shot. When you're trying to win, now that was good when the Nets were okay, but they're trying to be great. And then to be great, you got to have players that are going to sacrifice some shots to get some shots for some people, for other players on your team that cannot create their own shot. Like I said, I would not make the James Harden trade. My personal opinion. Because when you bring a player like James Harden in, not only are you going to lose a lot of your bench players, you're going to lose one starter, Dinwiddie, you're going to lose your high-level bench scorer in LeVert, and you're going to lose one of your big men. And you're going to lose the young big man in Jared Allen. You're going to lose him. So now you bring in James Harden. Can James Harden play without the basketball in his hand? I don't think James Harden can play without the basketball in his hand. Kevin Durant, he can play without the basketball in his hand because he showed it in Golden State that he can play off the ball. And he showed when he played with Russell Westbrook that he can play with off the ball. Can Kyrie play off the ball? I don't think so. I don't think Kyrie is. What happens is you take a Kyrie and make him 40% of what he could be. You take a James Harden and you make him 40% of what he could be because they're much better with the ball in their hand. James Harden gets his rhythm with the ball in his hands. Kyrie gets the rhythm with the ball in his hands. So what ends up happening is you have a stale offense unless you're going to say, if we bring James Harden in, Kyrie, you're going to come off the bench. Kyrie is not going to come off the bench. Unless you say, James Harden, can you come off the bench? James Harden is not going to come off the bench. So what you have is two players that need the ball in their hands, and You asking them to play without the basketball in their hands 40% of the time each. So then now you lessen what they could be. So your team is not better. It's just more complicated. It's complicated now because you got a guy that you're gonna bring in. Is James Harden gonna take a backseat to Kyrie? No. James Harden looking like, hey, I came from the Rockets. We went to the Western Conference. I took that team to the Western Conference Finals, playoffs every year. I won an MVP. I've been top 5 in the MVP conversation the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. Kyrie gonna say, well, I won a championship. I hit a game winning three to win a championship against a 72 win team. I've been doing my thing in this league. I ain't finna take a backseat to you. So if I was the Nets, I'm looking at that team tonight and saying, we can be great. We can possibly be a great. If you look at the East, just look at the East. Who in the East would scare the Nets? Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. That's not enough. Ben Simmons, he's easier to game plan against because he can't shoot. All you do is wall off the paint. And they have the players to wall off the paint. And DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen. They have the players to wall off the paint to limit Ben Simmons. Let's go to Boston. I thought 3 years ago, Boston was going to be the Nets, how the Nets are right now. I thought Boston, because they had Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? They had Gordon Hayward. They had, they had, I'm going to tell you the people that were on the team. They had Scary Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and the other guy, and Jaylen Brown. They had those guys on that team. They had a pretty good team, and then they had some young players coming off the bench with some energy. They had Al Horford, so Marcus Smart, but they had a good team. They had the type of team that the Nets have right now, but they were a little bit younger than the Nets. And I thought the Boston Celtics was going to be the future of the East. Then Kyrie, was not a leader for that young Boston team what he should have been. He should have came in there. Yes, they know you, Kyrie. They know what you done. They know your resume. But what Kyrie should have been, he should have came in there being a playmaker. He said himself that he wanted to be a point guard. Okay. If you want to be a point guard, go look at Isaiah Thomas and how he played point for the Detroit Pistons. Because before he started getting Bill Laimbeer on that team, the microwave Vinnie Johnson, before he started getting Joe Dumars on that team, before that team became really good, he was scoring a lot of points. Chuck Daly came to him and said, what you want to do? You want to have fun or do you want to win? Because you can't have both. You want to have fun? Okay, you can shoot 25 shots a game, 30 shots a game almost. But if you want to win, you have to dial that down, those shots down to about 15, 10, 12 shots, and give me 10 assists. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kyrie should have did for that team, to help Jaylen Brown grow, help Jason Tatum grow. That's what he should have did for that team. I don't know what was the miscommunication. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. But Kyrie, everybody's not meant to be a leader. And no, in my estimation, leaders are born. It's just something that's in you. You get into a situation and it just comes out. You know what I'm saying? It just manufactures itself. It just comes out, and it is what it is. But I don't think Kyrie is a leader. And like I said, the Boston Celtics, I thought they was going to be the future of the East, but that fell down to the wayside. So are the Nets going to be scared of the Boston Celtics? No. Yes, they have some playoff experience. Yes, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals when they were young. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, still on that team. Yes, they did that, but they're missing a lot of parts. So Boston would not be able to do anything with the Nets. If the Nets on their game and Boston on their game, the Nets is just better. They just got too much. And then who else? Are you gonna be scared of the Milwaukee Bucks? Giannis is a better version of Ben Simmons, and you can do the same thing to Giannis that you can do to Ben Simmons. wall off the paint, and dare Giannis to beat you with mid range or three-point shots. Giannis' game is not developed enough for him to do that. He's just not. As great as he plays, the greatest stat builder that he stats that he accumulate, rebounds, points, assists, blocks, and all that stuff, defense, high level defense, he's limited in his shooting. The addition of he got some additions on there that will help, but to me, it's not enough. It's not enough. So you're not scared of Boston. Who else? Who else in the East? There's no other teams in the East. The Nets can run the East for the next 5 years, at least 3 years, and go to the Western Conference Finals. So, like I said, if I was the Nets, I would stay pat. I would stay with the team that I have now, and let's see how this team performs this year. James Harden will, to me, throw a monkey wrench in that Nets situation. Well, okay, you get James Harden. Now you got 3 max players on the same team. How you going to build a bench? I don't know how you're going to. To me, it's the same thing. It's not on the same level, but it's the same thing the Philadelphia 76ers did a couple years ago when they brought Jimmy Butler in and just decimated their whole bench. They had a pretty good team. Yes, Jimmy Butler made them better star power wise, but he didn't make them better as a team. He did not make them better, in my opinion, as a team going forward past that year. They did perform good that year. They were one buzzer beater away that Kawhi Leonard hit from the corner of going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? But long term, that was not going to be a good investment long term. So they decimated their bench and some of their starters to get Jimmy Butler, and it just didn't work out for them. Now they're in no man's land. That's what Philadelphia is in right now. Philadelphia's in no man's land. Like, what are you going to do with that team? Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they do not play well with each other because Ben Simmons needs the same space that Joel Embiid needs because Ben Simmons can't shoot. Joel Embiid can shoot better than Ben Simmons, and he's a center. He can shoot the 15-footer. He can shoot the 3. Look, for the life of me, I don't know why this. Okay, Ben Simmons has a lot of talent. Why he has not worked on his jump shot is beyond me. I don't understand. He should have an average jump shot at best, at least an average jump shot. What he should have came in last year with, or the last couple years, he should at least came in with a 15-foot, 12-foot jump shot. Almost, with consistency. He should have been doing that last year, maybe 2 years ago. Now this has been Ben Simmons' fourth year, counting the season that he set out, probably 4th year, 3 years of playing, 4 seasons, and he doesn't have a jump shot yet. Even the year that he set out, he should have been working on his jump shot. I don't understand. You an NBA player. He probably is shooting. You know what I'm saying? But it has to translate from the practice court to the regular court, to the game court. And it doesn't even seem like Ben Simmons he's not even taking jump shots. It's like, you can practice all you want. You can shoot 1,000 jump shots all you want. You can shoot 1,000 jump shots from the corner, from the wing, from the top of the key. You can do it all day long. If you don't go and put it in the game and put it in application into the game on game time, it doesn't matter how many you shoot. And it seemed like Ben Simmons do not want to take the shots. You have to take the shot. Even if you miss, you have to take the shots because you have to build up the confidence that once they start going in, you're like, okay, I can do this. And it seemed like he don't want to take. I'm not saying he had to come out there and take a bunch of threes because I'm not a fan of a lot of these players. It's a lot of players in my humble opinion, they should not even be taking a lot of threes. You got players taking 5, 6, 7, 8 threes a game that should have no business shooting that many threes. Your game should be. You should be able to have all phases of the game, and they just eliminated. I know I'm going a little bit off topic on a rant, but they just eliminated the mid-range jump shot. Why you eliminate the mid-range jump shot opens up your whole game. You know what I'm saying? The layup, mid-range, then you start shooting threes. Because the layups, boom, like, man, the ball going in the basket. You get to see the ball going in the basket. Then you shoot a mid-range jump shot, 12, 15-footer. Man, that's going in. Get in good rhythm. Then you pull back to the three. You got players, they coming in cold. They coming, start the game cold, boom, shooting threes. I mean, I'm looking at this like, this is a disaster. Look, Golden State made everyone think that they can shoot threes. But what people don't fail to realize is they had two of the best shooters, and then when they got Durant, they had three of the best shooters of all times. Not that they're the best three of all times. They had three among the all-time shooting pure shooters in NBA history on one team. And before they got Durant, they had two. So, and then even then, having Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Durant on your team, I don't want them shooting 8 threes a game. And they're the best shooters in the league. Three of the best shooters, a combination of trio of best shooters in the league on one team. I don't want them shooting 8 threes a game, each person shooting 8 threes a game. I think that's too much for them. Why would I want to see somebody like Kelly Oubre or Wiggins or because most of these guys are scorers. I'm gonna tell you the difference between a scorer and a shooter. A shooter is somebody like Steve Kerr. Now, Steph Curry is a combination of both. Now, you do get combinations of both. You get Larry Bird. He's a combination of both. He was a scorer and a shooter. Michael Jordan was a scorer and a shooter because he was probably the best mid-range shooter of all times, if not one or two. So he was a scorer and a shooter. But a scorer is somebody like I'm gonna say a scorer is somebody like you take a young player like LeVert. LeVert is a scorer. He's gonna shoot under 50%. He's gonna shoot about 45%. He's gonna shoot a volume of shots like AI. Allen Iverson was a scorer. He was not a shooter. Because go look at his shooting percentage. Go look at a lot of these guys' shooting percentage. Trace McGrady, Kobe Bryant. Those are scorers. Those are not shooters. Shooters going to shoot about 47, 48, 50% from the field. That's what shooters are going to do. Scorers are always going to be 45, 42. At best, they may shoot. They may have a season where they shoot 48, 49. Maybe one season, if they have a great season of shooting, they'll shoot 50%. But for the most part, when you look at their career, they're going to shoot about 45% and shoot about 25 to 30 shots. Because that's the difference between a scorer and a shooter. A shooter is going to shoot 50% or better most years, no lower than 47, 48. And the score is going to be around 45, 42, 43, 44. So you got a lot of these scores shooting too many threes. And to me, that's, and a lot of those guys should be shooting that mid-range shot. Just like Jim Boylan told Jim Boylan told my guy, what's his name? Not Laura Marketing. Well, he told Laura Marketing too, and Zach LaVine. He told them to stop shooting mid-range shots. Now you tell me, is that a good coach to tell a player to take something out their game that they're good at? And LaVine especially was a good mid-range shooter. So you're gonna tell him to stop shooting mid-range, either get a layup or shoot a three. See, that's what these analytic dudes, these analytic nerds come in at. You cannot play the game like it's all about numbers and all about, if this guy do this, if this guy do that, why shoot these many jump shots when you can shoot these many threes? Okay, but these many threes has to go in. The further back you are, the more shots you take further back, and the longer the game goes, Your legs get tired. What's the first thing that goes when your legs get tired? Your jump shot. And if you're further back, instead of shooting a 12-footer or a 15-footer, you're gonna miss that three. The Rockets, prime example, 3 years ago, Game 7 at their house. They had played Golden State. I think that was the game that Durant was hurt. Nevertheless, they took 22 straight threes and missed. And they had Aaron Gordon shooting them, who was a pretty good three-point shooter. They had James Harden shooting them, who was a pretty good. He can get high from three. They had Trevor Ariza shooting them, and they missed 21 or 22 straight threes. How is that possible? You know how that's possible? If they would have shot, I'm gonna talk to the analytic dudes. Use their analytics against them. If they would have shot, if they would have took 12 of those shots, half of those shots, and just made 8 2-pointers, they would have won the game. You see how the 3-point and because the reason why they missed that many in a row is because their legs were tired. You're gonna miss some anyway, and then when your legs are tired, you're gonna miss even more. It's gonna enhance the misses even more. And there's no way that they should have lost that Game 7. They should have won that Game 7 versus the Golden State Warriors. But D'Antoni don't allow you to shoot mid-range shots. I mean, that's what he said that Daryl Morey. I mean, I'm not gonna say D'Antoni because I seen D'Antoni coach in Phoenix, but I'm gonna say Daryl Morey, the GM, said layups or threes. They kind of dumbed their offense down to layup, threes, and free throws, which you supposed to have your team be able to score from 5 different positions. Well, at least a threat from 5 different areas on the floor, and at least be high level at least 2 or 3. So your team should be able to play in the post at a good clip, shoot free throws at a good clip, be able to shoot mid range, and be able to shoot threes. Not just lay up 3 free throws. Okay, so when you get in the playoffs, you know what a really good team is gonna do to you, especially as you go deeper in the playoffs, you're playing better and better teams. So let's just say you're in the Eastern Conference, Finals, and you only can score from 3 layup and free throw. Okay, well, a great team is gonna do this. They're gonna take one of those options from you. They're gonna either take the 3 from you, the layup, say no, we're not gonna let them lay the ball up, or okay, we're not gonna foul them. So let's just say they take one of those away from you. You cannot beat a really good team only being able to score, you know what I'm saying, from 2 options. You're just not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. That's why that's why I never believed the Houston Rockets was gonna beat Golden State, because they only had 3 ways of scoring. Golden State. It's another thing that people don't realize. Golden State. Go look at their championship runs. They were always 1, 2, or 3 in the league in defense. Everybody looked at their offense. Oh, Golden State offense is so great. Their defense was just as good as their offense, but nobody paid attention to Golden State's defense and how good it was. So I never believed Houston was going to beat them. People on TV tomorrow, they're going to beat Houston, going to beat Golden State this year. Oh, they're going to beat them this year. No, they was never going to beat them, because number one, to me, they didn't have the IQ to beat them. Number 2, they dumbed down their offense so much that, yes, it's good for the regular season. The offense that Houston was running was good for the regular season. The offense that Mike D'Antoni runs everywhere he goes is good for the regular season. When you get in the playoffs, when things slow down, when the game slows down, and you have to run some half-court offense, that offense is not good. But let me know what y'all think about the Nets. Should the Nets trade for James Harden? I say no. I gave you my reasons why. Give me your reasons why they should not trade for. Either they should, if they should trade for James Harden, in your opinion, give me the reason why you think they should. If they shouldn't, give me the reason why you think they shouldn't. I'm out.